And here now is Paul Mauro, retired NYPD inspector, Fox News contributor. Paul, I want to play the video released by the Guthrie family again for those who may have missed it. Let's watch.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
What is your reaction to that latest video?
Yeah, look, I'm just seeing it like everybody else. I just read it. So let's look at it very closely, the way Ted Williams did. I think where it gets most troubling is when you go near the end. So let me just tease it out similar to the way Ted just did. We received your message and we understand. That feels to me like there's something new. And one of the things we've all been talking about is, have they established a protocol to speak to each other? This sounds like they got something that is different from the note, the second note, that none of us were really sure was the same people originating in the same place as the first note that the authorities were taking seriously. Now, one of the points I've been making is that if the second note were from the same people, I think they would have included, once again, the crypto wallet. It's not definite, but that would have very much been a proof that it was the same people, because that's a long, unguessable number. And first of all, it goes to the fact that they want to be paid. So I would think it would have been in the second note, not definitive, but perhaps. This feels to me like it's something new. And therefore, I have to think that they did establish some way to talk to each other, one way or the other. That could be good news for the investigation, because you have something else to work on. Let's go on real quick. We beg you to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. Celebrate what? That feels to me like a euphemism, right? Celebrate her life, something like that. Also, return our mother to us. Let's look at not so much what's being said as what's not being said. If this note had said something like, okay, we're glad we've had a meeting of the minds, let's set up the exchange. Would it not have very, very different verbiage? Would it not have said something like, thank you for getting in touch with us, we're ready to move forward, waiting further instructions, things like that. In fact, I would argue there would be nothing public, right? Further, if there were a good protocol to talk to each other, she wouldn't be making a video.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's sending this out for them to hear this, right? And let me just close the loop. This is the only way we can have peace. To me, that is the most troubling line. Peace, not we can't wait to see her, this is great kind of thing. Peace, when do you talk about peace? You talk about peace when you're talking about closure, right? And then finally, this is very valuable to us. Well, of course your mother is valuable to you if she's alive. That, by negative inference, to say she's valuable, to have to say something is valuable, that tells me that it's something you might not normally think has value, and that goes to the idea that we want her, I'm just going to be frank here, man.
Yeah.
You're asking me, I'm telling you, her body.
Yeah. No,
Right?
and I think a part of that was the next line. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I was going to say, the fact that they're saying, and will pay.
Exactly.
Well, will pay has been there all along.
Exactly.
And the fact that they'll say, so what are you doing now? You're saying, we're going to pay for something that maybe had less value than it had yesterday.
Yeah.
So just as an investigator, I'm telling you, piecing this thing apart, I hope I'm wrong. You know, I think that's clear, but I don't think it's a positive sign.
Paul, I just got one question for you. You alluded to this, that they're communicating back to whoever has her mother with an Instagram post, as opposed to through some sort of channel that's established. I would imagine they're speaking with law enforcement and coordinating this with them. Would you say the same thing, basically, that law enforcement supports them putting this video out there this way?
100%. We all know that when they did the first initial response, that we saw law enforcement going in with a ring light. And in fact, you know, when I got that report, I was asked, what do you think? And my first blush was, okay, they're going in with a camera and lighting. Maybe they're going to film a search warrant here so that if they get some incriminating evidence or something, they can demonstrate how they got it. You do things like that. You film locations. But when I heard a ring light, well, we all know what a ring light is, right? That's what people use to make selfies, and, you know, they put the videos on TikTok and all of that. So when I heard that, I began to think, all right, social media, and that was, in fact, the FBI going there, and they did confirm that they were there when that first video was made. I don't know about the second one that Cameron made after the first deadline passed, but certainly the first one, they were there. And at the press conference, they pretty much confirmed that. So let me go yes on that, Joey.
And Paul, I guess we'll also remember here that the next deadline that was previously established was to come on Monday at some point. I don't believe that there was a time period. But of course, today is Saturday, 1 week set that Nancy Guthrie has been missing. You know, so 2 days out from that next deadline, does that help you understand? You know, you walked through the possible interpretations of this last message. Does that add, you know, any, to me, I feel like maybe that's some more optimism. It's before the last deadline that they're still communicating and offering, you know, trying to set up some type of indication that they're willing to pay.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope so, certainly. And I could be wrong. It's just so cryptically worded. And you're not going to, if it looked like, okay, we got a message, we've had a proof of life, you're not going to be cryptic. You know, it's going to be real direct. You know, the only thing that she really says that is really sort of straightforward is we will pay. But that's been there all along, I would argue. So, you know, I hope I'm not taking the wrong messages away from that, because we all hope that she's alive. But this feels to me like they got some new piece of information where almost as if they said something like this, an accident occurred. This didn't go the way we expected. Yeah. You know, we know she had a heart condition, right? Something like that. And like you say, we're before the deadline. So would they not be saying things like, you know, before the deadline occurs? And I've heard disparate reporting on the deadline. My understanding is that the best sourcing from the authorities was that it was going to be 5 o'clock again on Monday, Arizona time. And that might be an inference, the Arizona time piece. But yeah, because we're before the deadline, it would have felt to me more like a negotiation than it does.
Wow. All right, Paul, thank you so much. Please stick around. We always appreciate your insight.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.